there for him, but he refuses to talk about whatever is that haunts him. She also discovers a book with horrific illustrations of what war crimes used to be like, Eric's uniform and a wardrobe dedicated only to it, and a suitcase sitting on top of a bed in an empty bedroom. One afternoon, when the debt collectors come by their home, Eric hallucinates of Nagase again and tries to attack the men with a knife. He's stopped just in time, but as he realizes what he's done, Eric runs away from the house, still refusing to talk about it when his wife reminds him they can't live like this. Desperate to help, Patricia decides to follow him in the car, and that's how she finds out about the Veterans Club. After the meeting is over, she asks Finley for Eric's story, explaining she used to be a nurse so she's already seen lots of suffering. Finley doesn't think anyone can understand what they've gone through and refuses to share a story that isn't his, but when Patricia points out that Eric isn't coping and how badly he needs help to stop his suffering, Finley gives in and accepts to tell her what happened to them after they were captured. The ride to the POW camp had been hell, and they weren't even given water during the journey. Once they arrived, they discovered a huge amount of prisoners being slaved into forced labor and beaten if they dared to disobey. Most of the new arrivals were also sent to dig, but Eric and his fellow communicators were called lucky for being engineers, so their job would be working on fixing equipment. Later that night, the group discussed the possibility of escaping, but they didn't have any idea of where they even were and if they could survive in the wild. Fortunately, Eric did know. Thanks to being a railway aficionado, he knew all the local train tracks pretty well, and he drew a map. Since they were on that train for 4 days going north, it meant they'd gone from Singapore to Bangkok. But then they turned west, where there didn't used to be a railway before the war. It seemed the Japanese were making them work on the Thai-Burma Railway, an idea the British had abandoned because building such a thing would require an entire army of slaves. The communications team agreed to start simple and build a radio. While working under the Japanese, they would steal little pieces and sneak them out, hiding them in their clothes. The final piece they needed was a capacitor, which had been grabbed at their old camp by a soldier that was now working up in the line. It was impossible to talk to him without the guards noticing, so while supposedly fixing one of the